To AT Math Academy. Topic for today is graphing cost functions. So let's graph the function y is equal to cos of 3x. So the standard formula for cos function is y is equal to a cos bx. So if you can compare the formula with this standard formula. A here stands for amplitude and b is the coefficient of x, and I will be using the b value for finding the period. Period of the function is 2 pi by b for the cos functions. So for the standard here, a cos bx, when I compare my given function with the standard function, I have the value for a here is 1. So amplitude is 1 for the above function, and for the b I have the value as 3. So my b value is 3, and my period is nothing but the complete cycle of the graph. One crest and one trough makes a cycle, which is called the period. It is found by the formula 2 pi by b. So it is 2 pi by b value is 3. So the period is 2 pi by 3. And in order to do the graphing, we need to have the scaling functions here. So let's design the scale on the graph. So the horizontal scale can be found out using horizontal scale is nothing but on x-axis here. The period, we take the value and divide it with pi by 2. So let's take, for the horizontal scale, let's take pi by 2 and divide it with b value. So here I have my pi by 2, and value for b here is 3. So pi by 2 over 3, which is nothing but pi by 6. So my horizontal shift is pi by 6, and for the vertical I take the value as 1 on y-axis. Okay, so now let's draw the graph here. So for drawing the graph, I'm marking my axis here on y-axis and x-axis here. This is the origin, and my period is 2 pi by 3. So my period is 2 pi by 3, and for having the horizontal axis, I took the formula pi by 2 by b, which gives me pi by 6. Or you can do it in another way too. We can take the value of period and divide it with 4 parts. So it is 2 pi by 3 and by divided with 4, which is 2 pi by 3 into 4, which is 2 times 2, which is pi by 3 times 2 is 6. So my each unit here on x-axis would be pi by 6. So my first value is pi by 6. Second value would be pi by 6 plus pi by 6, which is 2 pi by 6. When it is simplified, it will be 2 times 1, 2 times 3. It will be pi by 3. So I'm going to write it as pi by 3 here. And this is 3 pi by 6, which can be written as pi by 2. This is 4 pi by 6, which can be simplified as 2 pi by 3. So this is 2 pi by 3, and let me extend the x-axis here for writing the other numbers. And after 4 pi by 6, I have my 5 pi by 6, and this is nothing but 6 pi by 6, which is equal to pi. So in this way, I have taken the points on x-axis. So I have took the period and divided into 4 parts, because we can see the period has 1, 2, 3, 4 cycles are needed to finish the period, to complete the period. So I took the period and divided it with 4. So I got pi by 6. This is one way. The other way would be pi by 2. divided with b. So that also gives us pi by 6. And on the vertical, I am taking the values as 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And on negative, -1, -2, -3, and -4. And after this, I have my amplitude here as 1, which means amplitude is the maximum value here in the wave. So amplitude is the maximum value. Maximum value is amplitude. And for here, I have my amplitude as 1. So for graphing the cos function, as you all know that cos of 0 is always 1. So when I take my x value as 0, I need to graph on y-axis, I need to graph the maximum value. So here for the maximum value, amplitude is 1 here in this graph of y is equal to cos 3x. I have the value as equal to 1. So for x value 0, maximum value is here. And for x value pi by 6, I need to find out my values and then graph the function here. So, or you can do the other way, the maximum point, and then it will be 0, and next value it will be the minimum point, which is one way down, which is -1. Next again it will be 0, and again it will be the maximum point, and then the 0, and then the minimum point. So this is how the graph will be. So let me join the points here. Okay, for you, I'm going to show you the calculations, how you can make this to work out. So let's take each value of x and let's calculate for this function. Okay, so if we are doing that way, for x equal to 0, y is equal to cos 3x is our function. So cos of 3 times 0, which is cos 0, which is 1. So for the value of x equal to 0, I need to get the value of 1. So for 0, I have to point it at 1. And for next thing, for the value of x equal to pi by 6, I need to have the value of y is equal to cos of 3 into x, which is pi by 6, which is cos of 3 times 1 and 3 times 2, which is cos pi by 2, which is 0. Hence, my pi by 6 value, y value is 0. And for, let's check for x equal to pi by 3, I should be getting -1. So for x equal to pi by 3, it is cos 3 times x, which is 3 times pi by 3, which is cos pi. 3 and 3 gets cancelled out. Cos 180 is nothing but it is 3 pi by 6. For pi by 3, it is -1. Okay, and next value here is, I have it as 3 pi by 6 as pi by 2. So x equal to pi by 2, and cos 3x is our function, 3 pi by 2. Cos 3 pi by 2 is nothing but 3 times 90, which is 270. So it can be written as 180 plus 90. 180 plus 90 is in second quadrant, and cos value is always positive, and the value does not change. Since it is even, it is cos 90. Cos 90 is nothing but you will have it as 0. So I have the mark here as 0. And in this way, you can try substituting x value is 2 pi by 3 in the function cos 3x and find out the values. You will be getting the values as 1 for 2 pi by 3 and 0 for 5 pi by 6 and -1 for pi. So this is how you graph the standard function. So this is a glimpse of the problem here. Again, we are finding the shifts and amplitude and period, and then finding the different values of y for the x and then graphing the function. Our easiest way would be starting with the maximum value for x equal to 0, which is the amplitude here, is 1. So it starts at 1 and then becomes 0 and goes to -1 minimum point, and 0 and 1 and 0 and -1. So this is how you graph the function. Hope you all like my video, and please subscribe to 18 Math Academy. Thank you for taking time to watch.